One spotlight left on in an empty arena, aimed at a banner with your number stitched into it in gold nobody asked your opinion about. 20,000 seats, all empty. A suit, not a jersey. A voice behind you starts the word retirement and stops, unsure that's actually what this is. Don't check the exits. There isn't time to find one before the lights come up. Rewind. None of it exists yet. Not the banner, not the gold thread, not the suit. Somewhere your mother clocks out of a double shift. Nobody thanks her for by name. You want the banner. You want it bad enough to build a whole life around a hoop bolted to a garage. You don't know yet what they take down to put a banner up. Your mother is Denise, 41, on her feet 10 hours at Prescott General before this shift even started. The hoop above the garage door sits 2 degrees off true. You've never once fixed it because you know exactly how it plays now. Cracked concrete. One good pair of shoes, resold twice. 600 makes before dinner, every single night, whether anyone's watching or not. Supper is whatever's on sale, split without anyone saying so out loud. Denise asks about school first, basketball second. Same order every night, like the order itself is a kind of prayer. She saved $400 toward an elevator repair the landlord keeps promising and never starts. You tell her someday you'll just buy the building. She laughs like it's a joke. You don't. State semifinal. For seconds left, down 1. The gym loud enough that the buzzer barely cuts through it. Catch. Turn. Release. The ball rolls the rim twice before it decides. A man in a windbreaker 2 rose up, writes something down without clapping, which somehow says more than the whole gym screaming does. Your ankle rolls landing. Ice for the first time actually matters. Recruiters call the house phone before your ankle's even done swelling, offering trips, gear, promises that don't survive a signature. A guidance counselor pulls the odds up on a laptop, unprompted, like a warning label. But the man in the windbreaker calls back a second time. Denise takes the message on the back of an electric bill. Nobody offers to fix the elevator. Division 1, a full ride, a jersey with your actual name across the back for the first time in your life. Class at 8, lift at 11, film at 2. The schedule owns you the way the driveway never did. Nil money is real now. Technically, a teammate 3 lockers down signs a deal worth more than Denise makes in a year. Yours is worth a free sandwich. Nationally televised, March, a shot clock winding down against the tournament's #1 seed. You pull up from 26 feet with a hand in your face, the kind of shot coach would bench you for in practice, and it drops clean through a net gone silent for 1 full second before the building comes apart. 9 million replays rack up by morning, a season's worth of driveway reps compressed into 6 seconds of footage. Nobody can spell your name yet. A highlight doesn't pay an elevator repair. Your own shot loops on a phone screen at 2 a.m., counting shares like they're dollars, which they aren't. Draft boards rank you anywhere from the mid-first round to not ranked at all, depending which website gets checked that week. 1% of every college player in the country ever hears their name called on draft night. An agent named Priya Osei leaves a card that says Apex Management and a number that answers on the first ring. Always. So does Marcus's agent. Marcus, your best friend since 5th grade, same driveway, same 600 makes a night for years. His mock draft grade climbs every week. Yours holds steady, then quietly drops 4 spots the week of your ankle MRI. Draft night, 60 names called across 2 rounds, and yours isn't one of them. Marcus goes 22nd, hugging his mother live on national television, while Denise sits with you in the next room, waiting on a phone that stays dark. 2 hours later, a G League team offers a deal so far under what you pictured your whole life that the number gets read twice before you sign it anyway. The bus leaves at 1 a.m. for a 9-hour drive nobody in the NBA ever has to make, engine rattling loud enough to drown out the radio. Coach Ellis, 40 years in gyms nobody remembers the names of anymore, takes the seat across from you without asking permission. He's watched 100 kids exactly this good disappear by 25, quietly. Denise still has $400 saved. Everybody on this bus was the best player in their gym once. 6 weeks in, a 2-way contract lands, its own separate pay scale, a locker in 2 different buildings, a life split exactly down the middle between the league you're chasing and the one that's actually paying you. You sign it in a hallway between drills, no ceremony, no cameras. It's still the best number you've ever seen with your own name attached to it. Ice, every night now, both ankles instead of one, A training room tub that never quite gets cold enough to stop hurting by the count of 60. Ice fixes the swelling. Ice fixes tomorrow's practice. Ice does not fix the part of you that still checks a phone at 1 a.m. for a call-up that hasn't come. Over and over, screen light the only thing awake in the room. The water numbs faster than the waiting does. The call comes at 6 a.m. A roster injury 2 states away, a flight booked already, a jersey with your name spelled right on the first try for once. Warm-ups under lights bright enough to erase the crowd behind them. The anthem. Your legs remember every driveway rep without being asked to. Somewhere in the stands, Denise is on a flight you paid for. First paycheck bigger than anything either of you has ever seen on paper, and the first call isn't to a car dealership. It's to a realtor for a 1-story house with an elevator that isn't a metaphor because there isn't a second floor left to need one. Denise cries on the phone for a reason that has nothing to do with basketball. You did the thing you said you'd do. 12 games into a real NBA rotation. Minutes climbing every single week, a body that still does exactly what's asked of it without one word of complaint. Your legs are steady under you tonight, steadier than they've been in years. The crowd noise settling into something almost like comfort. That's the part that scares you. Nothing has gone wrong yet. Ice waits in the tub behind the tunnel, patient, right on schedule. Your knee buckles on a landing identical to 600 others you've made this year, and the sound it makes carries over the crowd noise before the pain does. Carts, a tunnel, a doctor's face already decided on something it hasn't said out loud yet. An MRI confirms it before sunrise. The ACL, fully torn. Average NBA career, 4.5 years. You're 2 seasons in. The team's option on your contract expires quietly. No press conference, no ceremony. A locker cleared out by somebody else while you're still in a leg brace 3 states away, learning to walk on crutches nobody photographs. Marcus texts a highlight from his own breakout season instead of checking it on yours. You call him anyway, out of habit more than hope. He picks up mid-workout, already somewhere else entirely. Ice doesn't fix everything, man. Some of us just heal different. Rehab is 6 hours a day for a body that used to do this for free. The ice is colder now, or it just feels that way with nothing guaranteed on the other side of it. A therapist tracks your range of motion in a notebook like it's a stock chart trending the wrong direction, week over week, in handwriting too neat to argue with. Denise doesn't mention the house payment. You do the math anyway, every night. 9 months of rehab earns you exactly one thing. A G League assignment again. The same bus, a different Coach Ellis quote every single week, the same worn seat across the aisle. He doesn't say, "I told you so." He doesn't have to. The silence does it for him. Your knee holds through a crossover for the first time since the tear, and something locked since the MRI finally, quietly, unclenches. A 10-day contract lands. Non-guaranteed pass day, 10. No security, no ceremony. The exact opposite of the deal you signed at 22. You play the best basketball of your career anyway. Out of something closer to fear than joy, sprinting back on defense on a knee that used to just do it automatically. Day 9. The team extends it for the rest of the season. You've now outlasted the average NBA career by 6 full months. Both knees in the tub now, instead of one, plus a shoulder that started clicking on cold mornings nobody warned you about at 22. Ice fixes the swelling. Ice fixes whatever shows up clean on a scan. Ice does not fix the 4 years you can't get back, or the 2 full seasons Denise spent watching game film on a bad couch instead of seeing a doctor about her own knees. Denise is 51 now, still working, because retiring on your rookie money felt too much like admitting the injury one. The limp she's had a year without mentioning is there again tonight. She catches you staring and changes the subject to your next game instead. Some things get bought outright. Some things you just find out later you should have asked about sooner. 3 seasons after a torn ACL was supposed to end things quietly. Your name gets read on national television as an all-star reserve. The gym behind your eyes flashing back to a bent rim, and 600 makes a night before the broadcast even cuts to commercial. Denise is courtside this time, an actual ticket, not a flight you booked her on a hunch. A shoe company that wouldn't return your agent's calls 3 years ago now wants a signature line with your actual name stitched across the box. Priya Osei negotiates it across a conference table you couldn't have pictured from a G League bus seat at 1 a.m. Every clause read aloud twice before either of you signs anything. 7 figures a year, guaranteed. The first money in your entire life that shows up whether you play 1 minute of it or not. All-Star Weekend Media Day. 40 reporters, a backdrop with your name on repeat, a question about the injury answered the same careful way every single time. Somewhere in the stack of interview requests is a second card from Apex Management, a different name under Priya's, an office address in a city you've never been to. Nobody explains it. You pocket it anyway. The Supermax offer arrives on your 28th birthday. 5 full years. Every dollar guaranteed, no matter what your knees decide to do next season or the one after. You sign it at a table with more cameras pointed at it than your entire rookie season combined. The largest number either you or Denise has ever seen written next to a human being's actual name. The private jet is real. The endorsement portfolio is real. A net worth with more zeros than the elevator repair ever needed, multiplied 1,000 times over. Somewhere a bigger name than yours turned playing basketball into $1 billion actual dollars and a lifetime shoe deal nobody's grandchildren will outlive. The fantasy this entire ladder actually sells. One in a whole generation. All of it sits on paper, owned outright. For visits to Denise, this whole year. That's the actual count. 14 seasons, 2 more knee surgeries, and a front office that finally says, gently, that this year should be the last one. Not a cut, not a trade. Just math nobody in the building argues with anymore. The team plans a ceremony. A banner. Your actual number, stitched in gold you never once asked anyone's opinion about. You already know exactly how this particular night ends before it starts. 60% of players who make it this far are broke within 5 years of their last game. A real number, the one nobody puts on a banner. You're not one of them. Technically, the house is paid off. The shoe deal outlives the knees. Denise sits in the tunnel with you before the ceremony starts. Quiet, the way she used to be at the kitchen table. The banner doesn't hand anybody back the years, baby. Just so you know that. One spotlight left on in an arena about to fill with 20,000 people who paid to watch this exact moment. The banner rises. Your number, gold thread, no longer a suit you're guessing at the meaning of. A jersey, retired. A whole life's worth of 600 makes a night, finally spelled out above a court you'll never play on again. Ice weights in a tub, nobody hands you anymore.